Actors are aristocrats. 9/10 of acting is the obligation of the student to work, to stretch beyond everyday life, and to transcend a narrow understanding of language. The actor must detach from the limitations of a democratized mind and recognize that class structures, while not conforming to European models, exist in America. As actors, it is essential to rise above these limitations, and ideally, identify with the mindset of the aristocracy, not in terms of wealth, but in the broadness of mind, sense of freedom, and aesthetic depth associated with true aristocracy. Historically, the aristocratic class played a significant role in the world, embodying values of tradition, order, and authority. Although modern society has largely disinherited this class, its influence persists in culture, particularly in theatre. Actors should develop an awareness of history, learning from past eras to enrich their understanding of characters and narratives. This includes an intimate relationship with objects and their historical contexts. It is crucial to see an object not as a disposable commodity, but as something created through the long progress of civilization, carrying meaning and connection to the past. The modern mentality of disposability contrasts sharply with the aristocratic mind, which values durability and beauty. Aristocrats were not preoccupied with income, but rather with their rights, duties, and pleasures. Although actors must navigate the difficulty of making a living, they should not see themselves as mere workers for hire. Like aristocrats, actors live in the realm of ideas, and it is through the accumulation and expression of ideas that they find power and purpose. Playwrights write about ideas, and actors, in turn, must have the capacity to embody and convey these ideas on stage. Actors belong to a tradition of the aristocratic mind, capable of addressing the world through their craft. They must avoid speaking in a common, careless tone, which lacks dignity and self-possession. Speech should be purposeful and directed at the partner's mind, striving for clarity and meaning. From the moment an actor begins to work, there should be an intention to bring everyone along with them, showing confidence and a sense of worth. It is essential to overcome feelings of insignificance or rejection by the world. An actor must have confidence, recognizing their capacity to engage with large ideas, and believe they are worthy of more than the passive image presented by television, which tends to pacify rather than challenge. Actors should see themselves as aristocrats, deserving of high standards in both dress and thought. In class and on stage, actors should dress with dignity, reflecting their self-respect and the tradition they represent. The aristocrat's sense of continuity and inheritance is important for actors to internalize. Whether it is a material object passed down through generations, or a social position, inheritance brings a sense of belonging to something greater than the individual. This sense of tradition should inform the way actors speak and move, ensuring that their work carries weight and meaning beyond the moment. In acting, every important word should be given its full value, and actors must relinquish the idea that they have the right to speak in an unstructured, personal rhythm. Their rhythm must reflect the tradition and responsibility they carry as representatives of human culture and history. Actors must rise above the disposable nature of contemporary life, valuing what is lasting and significant, both in their performances and in the way they approach their craft. The aristocratic mind is also deeply connected to the celebration of the body. Unlike the philosophy of the Church, which often repressed individual expression and exalted suffering, the aristocratic tradition celebrates the physical. The actor, like the aristocrat, should possess a strong, healthy physique that symbolizes exuberant life and vitality. This ideal of health is associated with physical activities like war, adventure, and games, which embody the free and joyful actions of a strong, noble spirit. Every tradition has its unfulfilled or corrupt elements, but actors should focus on the nobility of the ideal, striving to embrace what is good, strong, and beautiful. The aristocratic virtues, inherited from the Greeks, included a sense of strength, joy, and favor by the gods. The aristocrat's happiness, unlike that of the oppressed, is inseparable from action. This happiness is not gained by oppressing others, but by living fully and freely. In contrast, the resentful person is weak, filled with hidden bitterness and self-humiliation. Resentment poisons those who lack power, while the noble person expends anger through immediate action, without allowing it to fester. The aristocrat's attitude towards their enemy is one of respect. This respect, when genuinely felt, becomes a bridge to love. A true aristocrat does not take their enemy's misdeeds too seriously, and this strength allows them to shake off adversity where others might suffer. A noble spirit maintains respect for their foe, which in turn strengthens their own character. Today, the leveling down of society presents a crisis for culture. The human prospect seems to be shrinking, becoming more ordinary and indifferent. This decline, marked by a general loss of reverence for human potential, is what leads to a sense of nihilism. As actors, the task is to renew belief in human power and beauty, to reclaim a sense of nobility that transcends the democratic mass. Actors must build a clear distinction between politics and culture, between the mediocre and the extraordinary. In a world that has become increasingly casual and disposable, actors must see themselves as aristocrats of the mind. They carry a 2,000-year-old tradition of strength and power. This understanding should inform every aspect of their work, from the way they carry themselves to how they approach their roles. The aristocrat assumes the right to adorn themselves with dignity and beauty, and so should the actor. Actors must see themselves as deserving of this role, embracing their inheritance with pride and dedication.